9 weird things cats do that are actually cries for attention. Cats are mysterious creatures, no doubt. They slink around the house like tiny, fur-covered royalty. Aloof, independent, and impossible to read. But what if some of those bizarre, even annoying habits aren't so random after all? In today's video, we're going to uncover 9 strange things your cat does that are actually low-key cries for attention. And no, it's not the usual meowing by the food bowl or knocking things off shelves you've already heard 100 times. These are subtler, weirder, and far more telling. Let's get into it. 9. They pretend to miss the litter box, but only when you're nearby. You might think it's a medical issue or an act of feline rebellion, but if your cat suddenly starts going just next to the litter box, and it only happens when you're around, it might be something else entirely. This odd behavior is less about territory and more about visibility. Cats are clean animals. They know how to use the box, but when they strategically mess just outside of it, especially in moments when they could have easily done otherwise, it can be a coded message. Notice me. Maybe you're working longer hours. Maybe you've been preoccupied, and your cat feels it. Misusing the litter box becomes a twisted form of outreach, a statement that says, "You'll pay attention to me now, won't you?" It's not passive aggression. It's emotional proximity. They're not just creating a mess, they're making a point. 8. They escort you to random spots, then do absolutely nothing. Ever had your cat lead you into the kitchen, bedroom, or hallway only to sit there? No meow, no scratching, no attempt to get food. Just a blank stare or slow blink like, "We're here." That's it. It feels anticlimactic, but this is actually your cat trying to initiate shared presence. It's a weird form of quality time. To them, simply walking side by side into a quiet space is a moment of connection. They don't want anything from you. They just want to be with you. And by directing your movement, they're putting themselves in the driver's seat of companionship. Cats don't beg for closeness in the ways dogs do. Instead, they choreograph these little journeys, hoping you'll follow. When you do, you're not just indulging a quirk, you're accepting an invitation to bond. 7. They get weirdly interested in things that clearly aren't toys. You're brushing your hair, and suddenly your cat lunges at the brush. You're folding laundry, and they're wriggling underneath the sheets like they're on a covert mission. Sure, part of this is instinctual play, but there's another layer. When your cat gets overly invested in non-toy objects while you're using them, they're not just curious. They're interrupting. And why? Because the object has your attention, which means they don't. Cats are hypersensitive to what we focus on. If you're devoting mental energy to something else, a phone, a book, a hairbrush, they may hijack it not because they care about it, but because it's competing with them. They're saying, "If that gets your energy, I should too." This isn't mischief. It's a bid for emotional relevance. 6. They initiate the silent stare contest. From across the room. You look up from your laptop and there they are. Halfway across the room, eyes locked onto yours like a laser beam. No movement, no meow, just that unblinking, soul-piercing gaze. It feels eerie, but in cat language, it's a request disguised as a challenge. Staring is serious business in the feline world. It's usually reserved for conflict or connection. So when your cat initiates a distant stare, they're creating an emotional tether, asking, "Are you going to look back? Will you acknowledge me without words?" If you blink slowly and they return the gesture, congratulations. You've just responded to a cry for attention, silently. Ignore it, and they may escalate to something less subtle, like your curtains. 5. They guard you from absolutely nothing. You're on the couch, minding your own business, and suddenly your cat perches on a nearby armrest like a sphinx. Not cuddling, not napping, just watching. Maybe even with their back slightly turned toward you, eyes scanning the room. It's not exactly cuddly, but it's not nothing. This quiet guarding behavior isn't about danger. It's about belonging. By positioning themselves in sentinel mode, especially near you, your cat is doing something deeply relational. They're showing you that you're theirs. And more importantly, they want you to notice that they've claimed this role. Some cats do this during vulnerable times, when you're sad, sick, or simply lounging. Their stillness is protective, and their proximity is intentional. They're saying, "You matter to me. I'll be right here, even if you don't realize you need me." It's not attention-seeking in the obvious sense, but it's a gesture that longs for silent recognition. 4. They paw at invisible things, but only in your direction. Have you ever seen your cat make soft, kneading, or swiping motions at thin air, sometimes while perched near you, and wondered, what on earth are they doing? This isn't hunting, it's not even play, it's proto-communication. In kittens, this kind of air pawing is associated with nursing, a time when comfort, care, and attention were at their peak. When adult cats do it near humans, it's often a subconscious regression. a throwback to moments when their needs were fully met. But when it's done specifically toward you, it's symbolic. It's like they're saying, I want that closeness again. I want that caretaking. They don't know how else to say it, so they reach out in the language of their own infancy, trusting that maybe, just maybe, you'll understand. 3. They exaggerate their failed jumps. You've seen it. Your cat sizes up the jump to the windowsill. It's easily within range, but instead of sticking the landing, they dramatically fail, sprawling, meowing, or making a strange half jump that ends in an awkward flop. And the second you look, they act unfazed. Or better, they do it again. This isn't clumsiness, it's performative. Cats hate looking foolish. So when they fail visibly, but repeat the act or glance at you during or after, it's not an accident. It's an attention tactic. They're saying, you saw that, right? Are you going to come over? Pet me? React? It's theater, and you're the intended audience. And here's the wild part. Some cats figure out which types of movement will get your attention the fastest. A failed leap works better than a meow. A pratfall? Irresistible. 2. They initiate random grooming sessions. On you. It starts with a lick, then another. Then they're grooming your hair, or trying to nibble on your hand, or licking your arm with what feels like sandpaper affection. It's cute, but also a little weird, especially when it comes out of nowhere. In feline behavior, mutual grooming, known as allo-grooming, is how cats solidify social bonds, but it's also how they ask for care in return. When your cat grooms you, they're offering intimacy, but they're also creating a subtle debt. In their mind, you now owe them the same. This isn't just sweet, it's strategic. They're saying, I'm giving you closeness. Will you notice me now? And if you don't, they may escalate, from nibble to nibble and pounce. 1. They vocalize, without moving their mouth. Wait, what? This one's subtle. You might hear a strange chirp, a muffled meow, or an odd, breathy squeak, but your cat's mouth barely moves, or doesn't open at all. It's so quiet. You might even wonder if you imagined it. This isn't just a quiet meow, it's a phantom vocalization, and it carries more emotional weight than you think. Cats do this when they're trying to reach you without causing a scene. It's a whisper for your attention. Not dramatic, not demanding, just hopeful. Why so understated? Because in cat social dynamics, vulnerability is a huge risk. A loud meow is a confident ask, but a barely there sound, aimed at you from across the room, the couch, the bed, is a high-stakes invitation. Will you come to me before I have to beg? They're asking with restraint, hoping you'll notice the effort before the escalation. It's a moment of quiet trust. And if you respond, you're reinforcing the idea that they don't need to yell to matter. And there you have it. Those were the weird things cats do for attention. Are you curious for more insights? Discover the signs that they are ready to stop trying or learn about the behaviors that are deep compliments. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe for more.